to that. Mr. Kumia, you say your camp, okay, we didn't say your camp. But
Yeah.
money, 800 million. These are serious matters.
Well, it's unfortunate that the NPP primaries for the flag bearership has degenerated to this extent. And all of these serious allegations have been made in an attempt to impugn people's integrity with no shred of evidence. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's unfortunate that it has degenerated to this extent. Like you said, nobody's name was mentioned in the accusation that you just showed. So it could be anybody, but the expectation would be that accusation will be referring to the vice president. Now, in the first place, the sums of monies that have been mentioned, the $800 million for somebody to step down, it doesn't sound credible at all.
You mean you are dismissing it?
Oh, absolutely. Indeed, the vice president's office has issued a statement.
Yes.
And I'm sure you've seen it. Yeah. Let me read it. It has come to the attention of the Bawumia campaign that a fellow contender in the NPP Flagbearer has alleged that he was offered a colossal $800 million to step down from the presidential primary. Now, the Bawumia campaign wishes to respond as follows. The Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, has never met privately with Kennedy Agyapong since he entered into the race. So since Kennedy Agyapong entered into the race, the Vice President has never met him privately to discuss anything. The Vice President has never instructed anybody to meet with Kennedy Agyapong or his assigns to negotiate anything in respect of this contest. The Vice President and his team consider this $800 million claim as absolutely ridiculous. And it shows gross disregard for the intelligence of Ghanaians. Dr. Bawumia has always been confident, but by the grace of God, he will win these flag bearer elections. And he has never entertained any wish for anybody to step down from the contest. It is instructive that the latest allegation by Kennedy Agyapong is a rehash of a similar allegation he made about a month ago, claiming, as usual without any proof, that he was offered money to step down as running mate to Dr. Bawumia. Now, this is a clear denial. He hasn't mentioned the Vice President, but because the Vice President is one of the contenders, by association, he can be thought of being the person who's being referred to. It could also be anybody. It could be any of the other contenders. You know, this kind of allegations against your co-aspirants without any proof whatsoever is damaging to the campaign, the campaign itself. Look, there's another allegation made by my good friend, a very prominent member of the Bawumia team, Honorable Opari Ansah, that he had also been approached by people in Kennedy Agyapong's team that they would have their man is willing to step down if some guarantees about contracts are made to him. Now, which is the truth? And the kind of monies that have been mentioned in the second instance that I mentioned, they said there's a demand for $500 million worth of contracts. And in that same...
All from Ghana.
It's amazing.
We're collapsing the country.
You know, and in that same accusation, the same Mr. Opombio was mentioned. the same open bill that Kennedy Agyapong is mentioning, that the offer was made through open bill. I don't know if in law there can be some compelling, we can trigger some legal investigation as to.
Professor Adair made a comment on TV3. It was sent to Yoko. So why don't you drag?
What did he say?
About the money that's demanded before contract.
Oh no, he hasn't been sent to Yoko. He's been sent
the
to
roads minister as petition.
Petition. Yes. So it will be fantastic. But you see, in this particular case, no person has been mentioned, like I'm saying. But I would love a scenario where a petition will be made. If somebody's name was mentioned, a person will petition and say, look, let's investigate this matter. Or anybody can take it up, a private citizen or a journalist can take it up and say, this particular person has been mentioned as engaging in negotiations that are immoral, illegal, and has to investigate. Because the only name that has been mentioned in all of this is Mr. Pombio. He's been mentioned by Opariansa as negotiating for 500 million worth of contracts. And he's also been mentioned by Kennedy Agyapong as the person that... So at least we have a name. And I don't know, my senior brother is a lawyer, but it's something that I would wish that we just don't let it lie in the domain of accusations and denials and counter-accusations.
Okay.
Happily for me, once again, the elections will be coming on this Saturday.
Yes.
I have no doubt that the way the vice president has conducted himself over the years, and also particularly in this campaign, very decent campaign, talks about his vision, what he has for the delegates. He's conducted himself so well, conducted his brand in a way. We're having a discussion.
It's a discussion.
Yes. They fear him all, and if you allow me, I'll show you why they fear him, but that's another matter. I believe that on Saturday, he would win resoundingly.
He will win
resoundingly. Resoundingly. And I'm hoping, I mean, TV3 Media General, with your reputation, I'm sure you will do minute by minute, back to back.
Of course. We'll call the election command center.
And then all Ghanaians will see what will happen on Saturday.
Mr. Mpinyale, why do you think that so far, Nana Akome, Kennedy Agyapong has not mentioned the vice president, but each time he mentions something about, somebody trying to bribe him or overtures made to him, that the vice president's campaign team take it so serious?
See, Roland, if I ever thought that the front runners of the NPP will be at this level, the front runners of this party, NPP, I am shocked. And I'm happy like Nana Akome that by Saturday, all this will be over. Because within this period, we have learned of inter-party brutalities. Somebody's eye being pointed and all those. Within this period, we have learned of persons being mentioned for unresolved crimes. I am referring to one of their flag bearers saying that, look, the IGP and the police council knows who killed Anas. Right?
You mean Ahmed Swale?
Yeah, Ahmed Swale. This has been put out there, but not a mean person, but a flag bearer.
Aspirant.
Well, it's a flag bearer by their conclusions, So calling him an aspirant. 2 steps away from becoming the president of this country. Not so. He says that, I know who killed Ahmed Swale, and nobody's investigating it. Beside this, the current one is bribery. Huge sums of bribery in allegations. Who told you that allegations made on political platforms are different from allegations made in criminal law? Who told you that?
Or they are different. You have to prove.
When you do that in criminal law, you have to prove. When you do that in politics, you have to prove.
adduce evidence.
Evidence to prove what you are saying. So what I'm saying is that, look, today I am repeating the question. Who killed Ahmed Swali? Because as a young man coming up, his life could not have been terminated by who? An unknown person. We need to find out who did that. Now today, they have also raised the question of $800 million. Dollars. Bro, you know what $800 million would mean to this economy now? Never mind the other allegations that...
What would they mean? Because our debt level, we racked up debt.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot.
$800
million.
$400 billion. But
Yeah, that doesn't mean that even if you have money, some small amount will be helpful. But $800 million is a lot of money.
Okay.
And these accusations have been thrown out there, no investigations. Somebody says that $1 million for road contractors, he's going to ECO. $1 million, he's going to ECO. $800 million, they have not disqualified those who are making it, or they have not sanctioned anybody. So, what does the NPP present? What does the NPP present? Nana, you say we are afraid of the Bawumia. Yes, we are afraid of him, and you know why? We are afraid that such a person who says good morning in the afternoon and say good evening in the morning is being foisted on us. That's what we are afraid of. And sometimes I say, Nana Kumiepa, where did he come from retirement to join this group? Nana, $800 million. I don't have the intention of even thinking about that. But this must be investigated. On Saturday, this matter would come to an end. But I'm asking, there are 4 contestants, aren't they?
yes.
Yes. So why is it that it's the Bawumia camp who has taken it upon itself to respond?
Even though no name has been mentioned.
No name has been mentioned. Why have they taken it upon themselves to respond?
Why do you say that?
Why? Roland, if sitting here, I make an allegation that does not concern you, would you respond? Would you respond? The amount of bribery and corruption taking place in the NPP primaries is legendary. But after all those things done, then they will come and poor taxpayers will be made to look for money to pay for those bribery and corruption. That is the problem we are going to face. I know that if Bawumia does not win by 95%, then there's something wrong. Because the whole establishment is set up for that purpose.
So it's a Bawumia's election?
It's a Bawumia's election. Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay. How do we bring Mr. Ohini Japan to book, if he has to be at all?
Well,
Because it looks like the government is afraid of him.
listen, like my brother is saying, these allegations are serious. So if he is invited so that we can get to the bottom of it,
Yes.
I will be happy because these allegations are serious. There's sums of money involved.
And including the medal.
Now, but my senior brother here couldn't resist some propaganda,
What is the propaganda?
which is totally not necessary.
Which one is that?
He says that Bawumia is being set up to win.
Oh, yes.
And so because of that, he
He
expects,
says Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the establishment candidate.
whatever it is, he says he's been set up to win.
Yeah.
And so he expects Bawumia to get
95%.
95%. Well, I'll be happy if Bawumia gets 95%.
Right.
But when you say he's been set up to win, you are insulting the integrity of the over 200,000 delegates who are going to vote. And you shouldn't be doing that. Number 2, you know, when you are the front runner,
Who is the front runner in this race?
Bawumia, when you are the front runner, you are the front runner. You know, people will say all sorts of things, but you are the front runner. Because you don't have time, John Mahama, he got about 90%. Huh? His boss, his candidate. John Mahama got about 90%. Is it because he's been set up to win?
You mean,
We hear
you
of,
mean he was accused of giving 800 million? I don't understand.
no, I'm saying that
What are you
he
saying?
says he's been set up, Bawumia has been set up, so you get 90. I'm saying John Mahama got 90. So was John Mahama set up to win?
Okay.
Because you can
Can I answer?
cite all those.
Can I
We
answer?
hear of people who were dismissed because they sold forms to somebody who wanted to contest Mahama.
Who?
We, at your own party office.
Which office?
At your own
Today,
party
there-
office.
which office?
I'll get you the name.
Which office?
And then he goes on to say,
Which office?
Roland,
Roland, are you letting him get away with
the
this
amount of
accusation?
bribery?
You ask him
Listen,
what
he says amount of in your head office. I'll get you the name. The man just passed recently, but you are aware of it. Some man who sold forms to somebody, and you will say, why did he sell the forms and he was dismissed? You people reported it. If you are not aware, then he says that amount of bribery and corruption, no evidence. No, because he's my senior brother. I don't want to use certain words, but when you come here and say the amount of bribery and corruption,
Have
not
you
a
seen Kennedy
shred,
Upon
not a shred.
showing delegates videos where
I'm surprised
for the-
about my brother, a friend, Nana Kumia,
the
this
top
morning.
echelons of the delegates were being given money?
Nana, I am surprised
Did-
about
did
you
you-
this
I
morning.
didn't see the video, but I
you
saw that you were sharing.
Did you see the videos?
Yes, we did.
But
Now-
there was
now-
a video in which he was showing the delegates
now,
the video.
Roland, did you see the video he was showing? Now, Roland, just think about it for 2 seconds.
You've seen
If-
the video
if-
yourself, right?
No, how can I? You are showing it to people
Yes,
sitting there.
yes.
So how can I see it? You yourself, you haven't seen it. But
No,
think
I haven't
about it for 2 seconds. I mean, as a reasonable human being. If you have evidence, proper evidence, that your main opponent is engaged in activity like this, are you going to be showing it to people quietly? Is that what you do? If you have evidence that your main opponent is engaged in this activity,
Roland, the game is good.
then you go and show
So you're
people
saying Kennedy
videos.
Upon is lying?
Oh, I'm saying that as a reasonable person, is that what you do? You have evidence. I'm contesting my senior brother here, and I have evidence that
Nana
is
Kumia.
engaged in bribery.
Nana-
Then I have video
Nana
and I'm
Kumia,
showing
Nana
it to
Kumia.
people.
Thank you very
That's what
much.
I'll do.
When you accuse,
And then he says,
when you
I've
accuse-
come from
Nana Kumia is
retirement. I
SCC
haven't
boss, former
retired.
member of parliament, former minister.
So-
He's also
When you accuse your brother
in the
Muhammad
DMB
building
it is
a hotel
possible
in Dubai.
2024 team. And then also Ambassador Sampi Laye, Yali. And thank you also for passing through. You say you're watching us from
Coming to stay
Bombela, that's
what that-
Sambian David. Bra Kweku is saying that if you mean there was no intent or what, the video we saw was not a movie scene. And then we also have this one for Brimpon. Brimpon says that we should think of the people of Ghana. In the UAE, fuel has been reduced. There's cash out though. We're taking a break. We'll be right back with more.